It looks like we're at the legendary time of another Arctic Power episode. And this time I'm flying to Klawock, Alaska, in southern Alaska. And it's pretty cool looking in Klawock. Went out here to rebuild a generator inside of a can. Found a little treat in the car that they left me. It was a scruffy old car. Here's the 3516 that we were gonna rebuild me into an old timer. Stubborn old timer that was really just a pain in the butt to work with. Beautiful views in Klawock. Good place to go rip some cigs. And without further ado, I had to film myself doing something so that people will believe in me.
Oh, this other one's a companion, so yeah.
You're paying, a premium for whatever you're buying there.
Getting rid of these flatheads. Look at my shaky hands. I had about 90 cups of coffee by then at 7 a.m. And we had to check the liners for roundness with this dial bore gauge because they were left stored on their side, which CAT does not recommend. But they were within tolerance. I believe that they just don't want you to stack them on their side so that people don't end up loading a bunch of heavy weight on top of them, smushing them. Then I had to leave Klawock. That happened pretty quick because I broke my back. Now here's me flying into Point Hope, Alaska, up in the North Slope Borough, above the Arctic Circle, the Arctic. And Point Hope's a pretty cool place. It's a whaling village where they receive their sustenance from the great mammoth creatures that roam the seas. And they spear them, slice them up, and have a good meal. And here's the generator room. It's where we were doing another overhaul in the Point Hope powerhouse. Pretty cool place. There's a battery smoking. And this is the graveyard, the Point Hope graveyard. The tallest crosses are for the whaling captains.
Cemetery.
The entire place is fenced in by whale bones, ginormous whale bones, and this thing is quite a sight. I wish I grabbed my little scope. Yeah, paperwork my ass. We had to charter a DC-3 to get us all of our parts to overhaul that engine. It was 25 grand to pay for a round trip to haul out. We have to haul out a lot of the old parts. They actually get returned for more money. They get remanufactured. There's the unloading of the parts process. And we're back in the engine room with a turbo that got smoked. We're tearing down the engine now. Looks like this engine was overheating and had not been serviced correctly or at the proper intervals. As you can see, even had one injector had a broken spring, but it was still making power. I think they just said it was getting up to 1400 degree cylinder temps, which is just right about when you start burning up, just melting the engine down from the inside out. Here's the aftercooler that was completely plugged, full of carbon and debris. There's me cleaning parts, doing some dishes. Just doing the dang dishes. Somebody's got to do it. And another view of the beautiful Point Hope powerhouse. This time with the cylinder heads off. It's the only downside to working on a powerhouse is that there's always a generator running next to you, so you can't really talk to people or anything while you're working. You just have to listen to music. The upside is you got a crane, usually have an overhead crane in there. It's nice. It's a nice environment, lots of space. You can sing at the top of your lungs while you're listening to music if you want. So now I got into the portion where I just started taking selfies. That happens more than I'd like to admit. Lifted the engine up off the skid, and it was Halloween. So I made a couple sweet ass photoshops for that spooky day. Still was on the selfies. Blocked up the engine to do main bearings. And give it a good cleaning. Clean the block really well. These powerhouses are nice because you get the overhead crane. You get a lot of room to work compared to like a boat. Sorry I didn't film much of anything else until I already had the engine back in place, cylinder heads on. And then I actually had to leave before starting it, and one of my coworkers finished because we couldn't get an aftercooler and we had to do some valves for the coolant. But yeah, no video of it running this time. But it did, I swear. Ran sweeter than an old song, an old sweet song, I swear. Then I got out of there, flew the heck out of there. And it was a wonderful time being at Point Hope. Got one last view of that whalebone graveyard there. It's a pleasure to be of assistance to the locals, the villagers of Point Hope that you can see there. Such a strong community and a wonderful village to visit. I was happy to help them with all their electricity desires and their wants to have modern electricity. This has been another epic episode of Arctic Power. Thank you. Here's a little bonus look at my toolboxes that I fly with. 2 Pelican Air cases, if there's anything extra, they gotta ship it for me or fly it. There's the airport I had to fly out of. I had to go from Point Hope to another place. I forget where it was. I think it was Barrow, and then back to Anchorage. And there's no alcohol allowed in the village, so it feels good to crack a fresh brew